So hunting lionfish is definitely a conservation activity. They're an invasive species, so the problem with them is they're not from here. Through the aquarium trade, they were dumped out into the ocean, and the problem is they're eating up all of our native species. Not only our commercial species like grouper and snapper and things that we eat and that we commercially sell, but also our fish that take care of the reefs and take care of the wrecks. So they'll eat the parrotfish. So the parrotfish are known to take care of the algae on the reef. And so the algae overtakes your coral reefs, and so it's causing problems and a disconnect with the ecosystem. So at this point, the only solution is to go down there and remove them. So we have to go down and hand spear them. They're not being caught on hook and line, and so it's really just local control. Divers coming down and taking care of our own, taking care of our ocean.
And you mentioned that they're not caught on hook and line. Why is that?
You know, they're just too smart. They're a very adaptive fish, and for whatever reason, they just don't like they don't like artificial bait. They don't like dead bait. They want to eat those juvenile fish that are live and swimming around. And we're just the only time we're having luck with hook and line is when there's nothing else there, and they're just so hungry they'll eat anything. So lionfish is super easy to spear. Number one, they just kind of sit there. There's not a lot of movement. They don't swim away from you. They just kind of look at you. They're not afraid of anybody. They're actually considered an apex predator because they don't have any predators here, and so they're not afraid of anything. Even a human and all their scuba gear and bubbles that would normally push fish away, the lionfish will just sit there. And so it's real easy to. The weapons that we use are very simple. It's basically a stick with a pointy end and a rubber band, and you stretch that rubber band and you point that band and just let go of your spear. It's gonna hit them. And then we have a zookeeper, which is a containment unit, because they do have the venomous spines. You don't want to get stuck. Put that in there very easily, and anybody can do it. I've had 16-year-old kids come in and just be super excited about hunting lionfish, and next thing you know, he's got 15 or 20 in his keeper on the first dive. In fact, when I first came out, I was trained on shore how to use a pole spear. Went out, we shot 90 lionfish the first dive. So it's super easy. Here in Pensacola, it's one of the lionfish capitals of the world. We have more lionfish per area than anywhere in the world right now. You know, the problem with lionfish, we call it the trifecta of bad. Number one, there's no predators. Number two, they eat like crazy. And number three, they breed like crazy. So every 3 to 4 days, especially in the summertime, they spawn, and they spawn between 50 and 80,000 eggs at one time. The eggs ride up, they ride the surface current. The problem with the Pensacola area is they get caught in a loop. So they loop around, they don't disperse out around the rest of the world, and they drop right back down onto our wrecks and our reefs. Eggs are also encased in a gelatinous egg sac that actually has some of the neurotoxin inside of it to discourage things from eating it. So that's why we don't see a lot of predation on the eggs specifically. Long story short, unfortunately, like today, it was kind of a windy day and not a lot of teams got out for the tournament, but it was actually one of the best things for my life because I got to meet all the players in the lionfish world, all the scientists, all the people that were running the derbies because we weren't out on a boat. So we got to sit around. I really got to learn about how things worked and why they were so bad and why divers needed to do something about it. Next thing you know, all my friends are saying, hey, I want to go down there with you. So I'm calling Captain Andy and booking entire boats for entire weekends. And at some point we said, yeah, this is a thing, and divers want to know how to do it, and there's nobody really training them in the water. So let's start a program to do that. So the name Ocean Strike Team comes from anywhere the ocean needs our help. We can send in a strike team of volunteers, citizen scientists, and researchers to help. So it really fins in the water, as we say, with the researchers to help them out with stuff that they need. So for our lionfish program, we actually have a 4-day program where you come Thursday night, and we do some classroom and learn about why we're hunting lionfish, why we're removing them, and then we spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday out actually hunting lionfish. So we're in the water with you. We have a dive master and a guide, so there's 2 people there to show you all the tips and tricks on how to really shoot those lionfish and get good at it. Lionfish are absolutely amazing to eat. They're very light, flaky, really good tasting fish. So we're working with seafood restaurants to actually serve them in their restaurants. So we're selling a lot to the restaurants to have people eat them. You fillet them like a regular fish. So if you know how to fillet fish, it's super easy to do that. And
even with the spines?
Even with the spines. You just got to watch out for it. Most new people are very cautious, so they don't ever get stuck. Me, on the other hand, I'm doing this, looking this way, grabbing a beer, talking to my friend on the other side, not paying attention, and that's when I get stuck.